Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL Codes. Taste or Toast your Tastosis on day number 2 of year number 2 here at the GSL. Yesterday's games were pretty sick.
It's actually year number 3. We started GSL in 2010.
Taking my thunder away, Dan.
I'm so sorry.
Taking my intro thunder away. No, I mean, we've been here for a while now. We got this nifty new little clock here, so you can see, wherever you're in the world, kind of relative to that region, what time it is for you. As you can see, pretty international here at the GSL. We did see some very interesting games, especially the Slayers Boxer games. I think the ones that stick out most in my mind. How are you doing today, Artosis?
Tasos, I'm doing fantastically because we have amazing matches here today. We have a sick lineup, one of the hardest groups. ForGG, Leenock, Supernova, and MC. And that is
diverse
pretty wild,
mix-up of Protoss, Terran, and Zerg. Tough to say who exactly is going to get it out. I'm really excited to see MC game it up.
Dude, well,
I want to see a Protoss
I'm excited
play.
to see MC try to battle through the crazy jet lag he must be going through because he just won Home Story Cup.
He looked like balls, man, when I saw him in the makeup room. I mean, he looked exhausted.
I know. Yesterday morning, I watched the finals of Home Story Cup, and it ended reasonably into the Korean day, so I was like, he's about to go jump on a plane. He has to play tomorrow.
It was insane. By the way, guys, you can get a GSL yearly ticket, or maybe you're a little bit poor right now. Get a monthly subscription. Getting a year-long ticket is going to save you money in the long run.
That's right.
So, the sooner you buy that, the more it's going to benefit you.
Yeah, man. If you save that money and put it in the bank, compound interest style, and you're a vampire, in 1,000 years, you're going to be so rich.
You're going to be sick rich.
Assuming
that's a lot of money in the future. What is that scene in Austin Powers? Like, $1 million, and everybody's just laughing. And I'm like, that's like no money in the future, man. What are you doing? All right, let's go on to today's matchup.
All right.
Matchups. Pluralize that.
Leenock, Finn, Supernova, MC. OGS with a lot of players playing today. There's Leenock, one of the best Zergs in the world, top 3 easily.
Leenock looks like he just slayed a nerd right now. He's like, what?
And there's the guy everyone is talking about on the internets. It is ForGG, a.k.a. Finn.
He is so good. A StarCraft 1 pro gamer who just switched over, but he's doing really, really well. And, hey, look over here, Supernova. Thank you.
And there he is, a former StarCraft 1 pro as well. A great Terran indeed. Do not underestimate him. And then another former StarCraft 1 pro and the king of Protoss, really, just won Home Story Cup. It is OGS MC.
Yeah, MC the Kratos Protoss, a solid player. By the way, I love that new intro.
It is sick,
We've actually made some serious improvements.
We're high quality here at the GSL.
Not you and I. I'm talking about just, all the production stuff and everything.
Yeah, we couldn't improve anymore. We were already perfect.
We've gone downhill. We've lost our passion. We did that years ago.
Yeah, man. I don't have passion anymore.
I
hate this game.
I know. I'm going to play Command & Conquer now. Look, I think this is going to be an awesome day today because I do love the days where it's actually not just Terrans. I mean, I know I technically am a Terran because I'm a human being, but still, it's kind of nice to have Protosses and Zergs.
I'm not a Terran, man. Forget that, man.
Really?
I'm not one of those
You're just wearing Terran skin right now over your Protoss body?
I'm a Zerg in Protoss disguise. I'm a Zelnaga. No one knows what they truly look like.
Hey, I like that jacket Finn has on.
Yeah, it looks
That looks pretty
warm.
stylish.
It does indeed.
Now, Leenock
Maybe not that red patch on the front, but everything else.
Yeah, everything else I'd go for. I need to get some sponsors on my winter jacket. Now, Leenock is the guy I think everybody who's watching is probably more familiar with if you just watch tournaments. If you watch streams, for instance, or followed a lot of StarCraft 1, you're going to be very familiar with Finn. I have a strong feeling Finn is going to get deep in this tournament. He may win this tournament. And I am dead serious. For those of you who don't know who this guy is, he is playing so well. StarCraft 1 pro gamer who just switched over.
Yeah, he's been playing for a while, but finally making his pro debut.
Yeah.
And he's been just kicking ass, man. He's been basically undefeated in GSL so far, just ripping through the ranks, destroying nerds left and right. It's been gross.
All right, it's time. The game is loaded up. So we're going to get this going. Who will win? Leenock, the tournament veteran, or Finn, a.k.a. ForGG, the StarCraft veteran? We're going to find out soon here at the GSL Codes. That's
Sick
hot
as
six.
X-Men music.
Why is it hot 6X? Over here in the upper right, our Zerg player, youngest player, I believe, in the GSL. His ID is
FXO Leenock.
Leenock. And in the opposite side of the map, formerly known as ForGG, a very, very deadly player. He may take the whole thing home. His ID,
OGS Pin.
Now, Tasteless,
yes.
as you just said, Leenock was, for a while, the youngest player in GSL. But remember that Maru Prime kid? Way back, Season 1 and 2?
Oh, yeah.
He's back, man. He made it through the qualifiers.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah,
really?
he's only 15, and Creator made it in. So,
soon we're going to have an embryo playing with the GSL.
A what?
An embryo.
Fetosis, man.
Fetosis, or Tosis' baby.
That's it. All right, so Finn right now, or ForGG, is making a barracks hidden a little bit, taking a page out of Boxer's book. Drone not going to be able to find it. Leenock may overreact to this. This is why Terrans do this.
I also like the placement of the barracks.
Yeah, that's
There's
not
a very
place
low chance that it will actually graze by there.
Yeah, if I'm that drone, I go and look behind the minerals of the natural, and then I start
And then
looking
you flip
other
out.
places.
Yeah.
And in fact, depending upon the scout pattern of Leenock's overlords, that this barracks may help him to actually pick off an overlord quicker. You know, that's becoming a big part of Terran versus Zerg, is picking off overlords that are in bad scout patterns.
Yeah. Also note, Leenock did not send his overlord in the usual location for that overlord pickoff technique.
Yeah, I think that's to stop people from trying to get him with lifted barracks. We've seen that from time to time. But as is, looks like we're just going to see a quick expansion from Finn. Now, Finn has used a ton of styles. I've been seeing some of his games online here and there.
Yeah, I've been watching his stream as well.
Yeah, and this guy, he mixes in a lot of cheese, but he can definitely play a longer game. Oftentimes, he does really complex builds that have a lot of little parts in them that he's very, very good at. His execution is second to none.
Yeah, his builds are so intricate. I love watching him play.
Yeah, they're...
And see, yeah, it was to check for the overlord there.
Yeah, see, that's... Leenock's very smart not to send that overlord there. But yeah, man, his builds, they're intricate. They're kind of like, you know those Russian dolls where you like take the doll off and there's a doll inside?
Matryoshka doll.
There you go. They're like that, man. Like, you see the Reaper, you're like, oh, okay. But then he takes the doll off, and underneath that there's a Hellion. And you're like, what? And then you take that off, and then underneath that there's a Banshee? And you're like, oh, wow, there's a lot of dolls in here. I'm like, no, wait. If you don't die to those 3 dolls, and then I take one more off, and then it's Thors and Hellions, the Karn build.
I wish you could see Artos' eyes as he says this to me. They are so intense. As you guys can see, pretty even in the results, 31% to 30.1%. So you might as well just call that even. Both players our audience have predicted will get out of the group.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's going to make up over 50%.
I mean, those are good predictions, but let's be honest here. Supernova has some of the best TVZ that we've seen. His TVT has gotten a lot better, and his TVP has always been very good. MC, you can't actually ever predict MC not getting out of something. Because, yeah, sometimes he'll get knocked out, but that guy knows how to win.
Now look at this graphic at the bottom of our screen. This really indicates how much of a veteran Leenock is in the GSL compared to Finn. Mm-hmm. But also note, Finn has not lost yet.
That's true.
In these results. I mean,
he's 3-0, man.
He's in the 3-0, man.
Yeah.
I mean, switch those numbers around, it's 30-0. You know?
Holy
Whoa.
crap. Add another 0 onto those for no reason. That's 300-0, and that's more games than Leenock's even played.
All I'm saying, guys, that's pretty good. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
So, on to this game. The layer's on the way. He's going to send his Hellions out. Very standard for the Zerg, I mean the Terran, excuse me, to have Hellions.
In fact, this is an interesting build. Look at this. He's going a quick gaseous expansion into reactored Hellions into Banshee. I mean, this is a lot of tech units, man, and I would not be overly surprised if we just see him hit a very strong timing after the harassment. I have seen him do that quite a few times.
Well, we'll see if Leenock's prepared. I would assume the Banshee wouldn't do too much damage to Leenock. He is getting a quick layer, so if Cloak were to be on the way, which it does not look like it is, he would be fine. But, you know, Cloak Banshee obviously a little bit scarier than a normal Banshee rush, so
certainly
we will see. I think he'll be fine, though.
Well, Leenock right now, just playing kind of standard for Leenock. This guy against Hellion harassment, he doesn't normally get roaches like some other Zergs do. He likes to tech right up and come out with a bunch of speedlings while going Spire off of 2 base. It's totally Leenock style. He just gets his creep out as far as possible. and then surrounds with Lings. And, you know, we've seen him take out some of the best Terrans in the world with this style. It's very safe, too. You know, sometimes we see people take that very quick third base, even against the Hellions, and you know, sometimes it turns into a situation in which they've overextended.
Look at that timing. Had the Banshee be about to cloak, he would have had to leave because that Overseer is about to complete. Very nice timing. Drives out the Banshee. So the Banshee does 0 damage. And wow, double Engineer Bay now. This is interesting. He is seriously investing into a much later game here.
Dude, this is such a StarCraft 1-esque build.
Yeah,
seriously.
Really is.
He is basically, this is like we're watching StarCraft 1 right now, guys. And for those of you who weren't huge-time StarCraft 1 fans and players like Tasteless and myself and some other people out there, let me explain to you why. Basically what he's done here is opened up a 1 Rax expand into Vultures to stop Zerglings, into Wraiths, aka Banshees, to harass, into double eBay.
Ooh, that's a very good observation.
This is actually
Vulture
this
Raid.
is like a real build from StarCraft 1 that he's just porting over. It's a little bit different. You know, that's not exactly StarCraft 1 build I just said, but that's basically what we're seeing here, and it's working out in a very similar way, where as long as his timings are correct on things like bunkers and missile turrets, and as long as his unit movements are good, and his micro and his macro and all that, as long as basically he's a sick, badass pro gamer, he is doing so much at once, more than you would think is possible in StarCraft 2, but he's showing us, hey, this is possible when you have 300 APM and you're a Star League champion from StarCraft 1.
Yeah, this is pretty damn impressive. Now it looks like he will get the Viking here, which isn't too impactful. You can see in the last second he realizes, well, I'm going to lose anyways. I might as well try to bruise one of the Mutalisks. But otherwise, I mean, he's basically prepared. His barracks, the reactors on the barracks are just now finishing. His production rate's going to be very solid. He's about to finish his 1-1 for the Marines, so we'll go into 2-2 for armor and upgrades. And he's got a third base up with a planetary that is basically, it's so tight.
All right,
everything is so tight here.
56 SCVs to 53 drones. He has his third base mining before Leenock has his up. Okay, it's insane. He's getting upgrades more and quicker before anything even gets to him. Notice how he's buying time with Hellions. He's just buying time, man, because he needs to pump out a few more units. He has Thors on the way. He has Medivacs out. He has missile turrets spread very, very well.
By the way, he got a changeling in here.
Yeah, he does.
I'm actually really impressed.
Oh, that's actually...
And he's even hit it perfectly. Look at that.
It's with the other Marines, man.
Yeah.
I might think that's a Marine of mine. But no, it's a changeling.
It's not, man. Look, watch. He's going to notice it right now. Well, we're not going to get a shot of it, but he just tried to move the Marines. Leenock's actually going to follow it with the changeling.
All right. So... Tasteless, this is actually so amazing what we're seeing here. And I'm not talking about just the changing.
Oh,
I finally noticed it. But he's already got 2-2 on the way. All right, he's adding 4 more racks right now. The money of our Terran player is below 200 nonstop. Okay, I mean, he is just keeping it very low, and as I say that, he lets it get to 300. Anyways, he's just in such a great spot right now. Leenock is taking his fourth and going high. But look at the supplies, 131 to 129. We have 71 drones against 67 SCVs. Plus, don't forget about mules. Those things are pretty nice. I mean, this is insanity,
This is one of those build orders that you actually want to copy.
I mean, this is...
Like, if I were going to start playing Terran tomorrow and I was on this map, I would definitely steal this build. I mean, it's really good.
Here's the thing, man. If you're going to steal this build, you're going to die a lot because you have to be able to execute it to the second. I mean, his missile turrets were finishing as the mutas were flying across the map. And it's little things like that that allow him to take these edges. The fact that he's ready exactly with enough at exactly the last second allows him to do things like get the extra command center. You know, he's not overpaying for anything at any time.
So the Banelings are on the way. And also, it's really smart. He's waited to make the Banelings. You don't have to make Banelings until, for instance, the Terran's coming at you or you're going to attack.
Yeah.
You can basically make Banelings in real time. They make very quickly. You can stock up your gas. It's just one of those things that's good to know. So, Leenock's creeps are, by the way, pretty good. It slowed down a little bit at the bottom right. He had pushed it out there for a while and it just kind of gave up on it. But other than that, Leenock is also looking very slick here.
Indeed he is. In fact, his Greater Spire has started. He's getting some corruptors out now, but, you know, ForGG knows his timing, man. He's moving out right this second.
No, we had a shot of it a minute ago. He stemmed only the front 3 Marines. That's because he doesn't want to stem everything. He's not going to get the mutas, but he wants to scare the mutas.
Yep. Absolutely.
and push forward a little bit quicker. That's another sign of a very, very good player. Greater Spire on the way. So, Broodlords are going to be an option here a little bit later on. Now, the Terran does have a window of time to push during this. I don't know if he will, but he does have it. He can go to the bottom right, or he could try to clean out the creep. Both are fine.
I think he definitely will do that push, Tasteless, and looks like he's getting ready. But one thing to say about this build, the style that ForGG has done here, he's very siege tank light. He got out a few early Thors, and he didn't spend a lot of money on factories to actually get a lot of siege tanks out
Nice
right away.
snipe.
So, you know, without those siege tanks, the Infestors and the Banelings are going to be able to slow this push down quite a bit, and he's definitely going to have his Broodlords out before the timing push gets there.
All right. He may want to take this base in the center left location. He's got good position there. He is maxed out now. And actually, well, Zerg is very close to being maxed out, but they both have a lot of money in the bank right now. A lot. Actually, excuse me, Arturo, someone hit your tab thing on the keyboard. Yeah, he only has 4 tanks.
Yeah, this is
I actually
very tank light,
thought he
man.
had more, but we weren't getting a shot of it. But actually, he only has 4 tanks.
Yeah, and the thing about that is, I mean, Infestors are going to be so powerful, and there are some Infestors out, so as long as Leenock realizes, hey, there's not a lot of tanks, I might be able to get some great fungals off. That could make a gigantic difference. I'm so excited to see this super marine-heavy style and how this is going to end up working out. He has 97 Marines right
It's going to be very micro-intensive. I mean, if the Banelings connect to the Marines, it's going to be bad. And, okay, the Broodlord's now out here. We had a shot of it at the upper part of the map. He's chasing them out now, sniping down at least 2 that we saw. And Terran is serious about this push, guys.
Oh, yeah.
The position of the Broodlords is pretty damn good. Now, it's okay for the Thors to be hit by the Banelings because it takes so many Banelings to kill them. And it looks like the Zerg is now going to move out with a siege tank shot in siege mode. And the Thor, actually, if it stubs its toe, it would die. It has like 13 hit points.
Well, you know, Leenock has successfully held that off, but ForGG has a lot, man. He's making a lot more factories at home. He's making Ghosts at this point. He's making Vikings. He's getting his anti-Broodlord tech. And Leenock's going to have to do something about this army pretty soon, man.
This is so smart. So he knows he can't push forward any further, but he also knows that Broodlords are just like carriers from StarCraft 1. They're not mobile. The creep will see it, but he can try to drop over here. That's a pretty good amount of Marines. Even those Mutalisks will have a hard time. He may have to pull back the Zerglings here. Does take out 1 medevac, and that will make it so that there's not enough Marines out there. But with the Mutalisks not there, the Terran debates push in, sees the Broodlords and the Banelings and Zerglings, and backs up once again. Nobody really able to do any severe damage to the other.
You know, Finn is playing pretty coolly, man. I mean, he's pushing up with this pretty scary army, but Leenock is giving him a little bit too much credit, I feel like. With just 2 siege tanks out there for so long and that many Marines, if he just attacks forward with everything, you know, he may be able to get off a couple of huge fungals. But, you know, as it is, there's more factories out now. There's Ghosts out. There's Vikings out. And ForGG has the correct tech now to deal with all the units that Leenock has.
You know, this is one of these games where you can really see that neither player can hurt the other one at all. And their money is showing it as well. Look at how much money they have, guys.
Yeah,
it's just starting to build up.
$5K for Leenock.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he doesn't want to buy anything else right now.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to buy a ton of Lings right this second. They aren't going to be helpful. By the way, 3-3 already done for Finn.
Jesus.
It's really quick, man.
It's pretty good. Okay.
Taking a bunch more bases, just walk around, taking out creep, setting everything up. He's not afraid of all of the super composition that Leenock is going to end up getting here. In fact, we have just more and more Broodlords.
Yeah, I don't even know who's going to attack
go up
first
to
here.
12 Broods.
I think this is the point in time where Leenock's going to have to make like 20 spine crawlers and then maybe cancel them just to get more Broodlords.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great way to do it. Absolutely. And you know, he might just want 20 spines as well.
Actually,
why not?
yeah,
You know,
why
just slow things down. And you know, here's one thing I got to wonder about, because he's going to start attacking very soon here. And he's basically attacking
right
into
now,
the exact location that ForGG wants him to. I really feel like he should actually be trying to
He should maybe hit the main with the Broodlords or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get drops, get something else.
Here are the Vikings now, doing a good amount of damage. And Snipe over here, taking out, I believe that was some Broodlords, scanning. Snipe proving to be very useful here.
Queen's coming up right now. They have a lot of transfusions, and Leenock doing a great job right now against ForGG. Those Ghosts doing that great job themselves, but that is a lot of Broods, and Oh, man, I feel like those Banelings and Infestors really need to get in there. There's only 2 Siege Tanks left that can really hit them.
All right, Snipes continue to be shot off here. What the Broodlord with 1 HP taken out. Stimmy running forward. He's afraid still of those Banelings. And I think he may have overextended himself a little bit with those Banelings. A lot of them got shot down. Still 3 Broodlords. I don't believe there's any more transfusion as an option.
Oh, sick fungal growth right there. And a ton of infested Terrans now going down. And that was a pretty wild trade that we just saw. A lot of the ghosts did go down. All the Siege Tanks gone. And just a few Thors left over.
Ling's now going to spill in. He's going to try to reset that army over here. Now he took out a lot of Siege Tanks. Siege Tanks do not remake quickly. Oh, beautiful. He took out the Broodlords as they were morphing.
Oh, man. I love the fact he's switching into Mass Ling Baneling after killing all the Siege Tanks, and there's still Ghosts in production. The Ghosts aren't going to be very good against these units.
All right,
great
choice.
And in he goes. That's a ton of Banelings right now, and he's going to have to hit that Planetary. It's providing too much protection, and it does indeed taking out more and more units. Leenock with some very nice upgrades, just running through this huge massive Lings.
Okay, so overall, that was a big success there for Leenock. Oh, sick. Sickest Baneling landmine, just took out so much.
And, well, now it's surrounding those ghosts a little bit. They do stay alive. Very important to keep those ghosts alive. And, you know, he did some damage to ForGG. ForGG had to end up using most of his bank, and now a huge tech switch into 9 Ultras. That is absolutely why he's going into Ultra Ling now. And I don't see any Marauders in production for ForGG,
yeah,
so he's going to have to use Ghosts.
Will you check and see how many barracks have tech labs for me?
I will do that.
I don't even know how many Marauders are even an option. He has 3 barracks, 2 there and 1 in his expansion.
3, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know if he can stop the Marauders when they come.
Well, you know, he does have Ghosts, and of course, Snipe is good against anything Zerg, really. You know, dealing that extra damage to the Ultras, you can take them out reasonably quick. But, oh man, this is actually a crazy and wild game. The bank of both players completely gone. 183 supply for Leenock, 159 for ForGG. But, you know, I feel like Leenock, once again, playing into the positions that ForGG wants. ForGG wants him to attack right here. That's why all his stuff's set up. Realistically, Leenock should be trying at least to do something, anything else. You know, the expansion at the top.
Infestor dropping in here. He's going to use that to splash damage there off onto the Siege Tanks. Now the Ultras running away. I feel like there's so much going on in these battles I can't actually keep up.
Yeah, there's quite a bit going on, man. That is for sure. But, I mean, I do have to go over it again. He should be trying to hit somewhere else. And in fact, now it looks like he is going to. That top left expansion, man, if he hits that immediately with all these units, it's going to go down, and he's going to get out of there, which is a great move. He needs to reduce the pace.
He can actually graze by the sensor tower, so this is going to be a surprise for Finn.
Yeah, and here he goes.
He's just going to right-click on it.
Yeah, there we go. And the Baneling's going to take out his CD so they can't repair, and down it goes. This is the type of attack that he definitely needs to do in this game. And it was beautifully done, indeed.
And he got out there completely unscathed, minus that Ultralisk.
Ghosts. All right, so we do have a drop in the main base of Leenock. A well-timed drop. You know, Ultras are not going to be very good against this drop tech, but a lot of Lings coming in here, transfusion.
Nice transfusion. Oh my God, he's so good. Wow, he could not have handled that better.
Yeah, that
I think
was
Leenock's got this Artosis.
Well, he's definitely playing very well, but don't underestimate the Ghost count. It's at 16 right now. And as we start getting into Ghosts of that number, it becomes harder and harder for Zergs to actually break through. You know, they kill off Broodlords so cost-efficiently and so quickly. They kill off even Ultralisks very quickly.
He's got to go Mass Ling, Baneling. Yeah, a composition like that.
I know it, man, but the Siege Tank's going to be reasonable against that as well. You know, you have to do something like try to break the Siege Tank line with Broods before they die, and then reinforce with like Roach Ling Bane or something like that to overwhelm the Ghost count. But as is, oh man, there's a perfect composition out for Finn, and Leenock just doesn't have the bank to really remax instantly anymore. He had it with that first wave that he did. He had the over 3K in bank, but right now he's down at just 1.
Well, Terran switching the parts of the map he's going to control. He knows that the Zerg is never going to take the upper left, so he says, all right, well, the bottom center is a little bit more accessible. Leenock is more dominant in this game. I got to at least control another expansion. I think actually Finn might not even attack this entire game. He might try to get the Zerg to spend all of his money until eventually the upper left expansion, is the only location that he can take.
I think you're right, Tasteless. And with 8 broods out right now, he's going to start attacking, but that's a lot of ghosts. And oh my god, they have
Oh
Goodbye,
my god.
Goodbye, Cruel World, Tasteless. This is... Oh my god.
Perfect bungle though on the ghost.
Oh, sick. Great play by Leenock there. Can he get in here? Getting some ultras on those siege tanks. That is so helpful. But the Marines will clean up the rest of them. Leenock, though, with some beautiful moves in there.
Terran may want to counterattack now with the Marines. Just try to get the expansion that's close by. Zerg doesn't actually have anything. He has 2 ultras in production, 26 slings in production.
You know, he's down to 6 ghosts as well, Tasteless. 4 of them have no energy left. So this is a time where Leenock may be able to do a lot more damage. He's making lings and ultras, but again, his bank not that big. In fact, his larva count is down very, very low. He doesn't even have queens at every hatchery at this point.
Bungle there on the Marines. Beautiful. And it looks like, I think he just wants to get that 1 hatchery, and then he's going to go back and eternally. Ling's taking the SCVs. I don't know if Terran's aware. Yes, clearly now he is, excuse me. He's going over here. A fungal on the ghosts. I've never seen so many fungals on ghosts in one game.
Oh man, I don't know if this is enough to actually break. Oh, loses all the infestors to that volley. Very nice targeting there by ForGG, and the ultras will end up going down. More ultras, lings, and banes on the way, but every time he reinforces, there's less in it. But at the same time, nice little move right here. But a good burrow by Leenock to save most of his drones.
Okay, he's moving in here now. Siege takes in range of the hatchery. The Marines have been taking out the expansion. With the siege tank able to the hatchery, the Zerg is going to have to respond very quickly here. And he will probably wait until the hatchery is a little bit lower, buy a little bit more time, and move out just like this.
Here he goes. The Ultras going for those siege tanks. The Banelings trying to get through to the Marines. They don't quite hit. He needs to run with those Ultras now. He needs to run with those Ultras
the Terran
now.
could actually just stim and chase him down, too. I mean, if he turns around, he's going to die. Zerg now counterattacking over here at the orbital in the center location. And this is just a back and forth game. Right now, the supply right now for Finn of 76, so it's a pretty scrappy game here from him.
Yeah, it certainly is. Leenock up at 150. Leenock continues to gain more and more momentum in this game. Ultras now attacking this planetary. Does not look like they'll be able to quite take it down. But look at this. Look at this. Oh! Sick Baneling landmine. But down go the Ultras. Not quite worth it. Still, though, during this time, hitting another base. Very well done.
I think that it actually might seal it.
Yeah, I think so, Tasteless. There's just not much left for ForGG.
Actually, check. I'm going to get on your computer again. 15 SCVs to 71 drones.
Wow, that's...
So, yeah, this should be done.
I think you're right. I tell you, man, this has been an absolutely wild game. Both players played so fantastically this game. But Finn, he's not given up quite yet. He does still have mining bases. He still has a lot of mules. And now he's starting to make marauders. So if Leenock stays on Ultras, he may be able to get something done here.
All right, if he gets his planetary fortress, it's the same as if, a chess player loses his queen. Oh my God! All right, I would say expect GG any second here. Terran has one more base, which he cannot really defend. The Ultra shredding up the Marines and the Marauders. The Goat, yeah, there it is, GG.
Wow. Wow. This is the new StarCraft 2, Tasteless. Beautiful game right there.
Well, we're off to a good start today, Artosis.
Yeah,
that was just game number 1.
Oh, my God. Everyone's talking so much about ForGG. Is he going to dominate this season? Leenock says, I'm Leenock. No!
Their last one was the worst. No, look, ForGG, or Finn, I'm going to try to call by his current ID, played really well, but apparently Leenock is a player you just can't leave alone.
No, man. Leenock played very, very well. There were a few small mistakes with how he engaged just like 1 or 2 of the big battles, but overall it was really greatly done. He broke through some amazing defense lines. Thing is, Finn didn't really have enough siege tanks to truly push his advantage. He went so marine heavy that infestors became extremely powerful. Those 3 infestors really scared Finn off.
And when he lost those siege tanks. And then there was another big moment where he fungled, I think it was like 7 ghosts. And
that was a huge moment. You're so right. That actually changed the entire game.
Because
he
you can't remake those. Remember, he only had 3 barracks with Tech Labs.
Yeah.
Ghosts are really expensive. He had lost the siege tanks. Tanks also cost a lot of gas.
He lost over 10 ghosts in that.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of resources, a lot of build time, a lot of energy gone. When you get ghosts in that number, man, it becomes so scary. And the thing is, he EMP'd very quickly, but Leenock was just a little bit quicker with his fungals.
Really well played by Leenock. We're going to go into game number 2, which will be on the map Dual Site. I expect this game to be radically different from the first game we saw.
Yes.
This is not a map where I think you can just wait it out.
Yeah, you can't sit there that long. And in fact,
I don't even know if Daybreak is a map you could sit there as Terran for that long.
If you
know
do,
I mean?
your timing push, you have to be really aggressive with it. And I think you have to have more siege tanks.
I mean, Shukura's Plateau, that's a map you can sit around all day on.
Oh, you just sit there
until
right before Bruthor is when you're supposed to attack on that map.
Yeah.
But anyways, Dual Site, this is going to be one that we probably see a Reactor Hellion opening on. What will he follow it up with, though? That's going to be the interesting part.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and find out for that. Leenock has got to be confident with that game. It was a hard game, but he won, and by the end, he dominated. Didn't look like there was much Finn could do for most of that game.
It was actually beautiful by both of them, to get the honest truth there. That was a great TVC. Finn showing us all sorts of cool stuff you can do, but Leenock just barely edging it out.
It was pretty sleek, man. Pretty sexy. All right, we're going to be going on into game number 2. It is now loaded up. Zerg versus Terran, Leenock versus Finn, FXL versus OGS. Who's going to pull through? Will Leenock pull this out with a 2-0? Or we're going to go on to game number 3, and we know Finn's going to pull out his best build now after seeing what Leenock has to offer. Let's see what that build is.